can't wait to tell your mother about
the idea that
how fucked up it is.
you need to slow down mildly
And when I had my last son,
the impact of what we did
I realized when he would make mistakes that he would come down all by himself. Like discipline and make it feel bad.
I just decided to love her even more.
One significant moment in my life was when I was at a personal bottom, like rock bottom place. Like everything that I had created under the illusion of living within how we think we have to live within our culture had just been destroyed. It was like a nuclear bomb in my life, you know, in my personal situation. And there was this moment where I was just kind of got my wits in about it all. And this clarity came over me. That was a mantra. It was like the voice of, you know, that wisdom. It was just on repeat. It was simply good more. And I was like saying, I started saying it out loud. I started just like embracing that inner wisdom.
kind of going through menopause.
I found my voice
that people are
better and started giving.
They want that convenience.
Kind of reminded me
I have now.
and how they kind of perceive that as walls or barriers.
I am a recovering alcoholic, and I had been sober for a little while. Not long, just a couple of years. My alcoholism was the majority of my adult years. And so during the course of that, always finding something to provide escape, to take me out of I didn't really expect it to be this emotional, but anyway, to take me out of how I was feeling, and really out of dealing with the world, you know, dealing with life.
And the way that I sort of describe it was that your energy is
So I've been at the training time and I
that's what it felt like to me. It felt like the world
Unconditionally, like whatever she was going to say.
And I feel
sort of working
I always had this splinter in the back of my mind, like this urging, this itch to see more, do more, experience more. But I couldn't pinpoint anything. I just thought it was a noisy chatterbox in my mind.
So we did that.
In a battle of love
big time.
Have supported me and challenges actually play as an opportunity.
is what we were supposed to be doing, why I'm sort of miserable. But I think rock bottom was really after, you know, legal trouble with my ex, foreclosure, bankruptcy, a destroyed house, no money, him taking all of our personal things, and really just being left with like me standing. I have that tangible feeling of like standing in a pile of like rubble. That was my life. But that moment, and that's where that kind of, in that moment of like just feeling utter despair, where the light like from within really like kind of started coming through all those cracks and saying that like that mantra, we simply give more, we simply give more, how can we do that? That's what's gonna save you, that's what's gonna like really start to create change in your life in the direction that you want to go. And it was so empowering. I never felt so free once all those illusions were shattered in that like nuclear bomb.
Well, his son lived
like all the walls drop, you know, from work falling apart, health falling apart.
Have your receptive
even talk about that now and don't say that.
But there was a lot in life that I missed and a lot I didn't know. And my experience through being so detached, drinking every day, and some other experiences that happened in my younger life that kind of forced me to detach because they were not the most pleasant in the world. That's really what I thought life was. I thought that living in that state of detachedness was what everyone experienced.
Even if you have to trick yourself to tell yourself you love that person, you can't feel it. Even if you can't feel it right away, just start telling yourself that you see others as shit.
What inspires me, like, I will anything to say goodbye and live.
For us, it can be super overwhelming. But we're to get hit that hard all kinds of situations and opportunities.
Well, first off, my father always told me this one thing that I always thought was super cynical, and I hated that he told me it, and I always told him I was going to prove him wrong. He always told me, no matter where you go, you're always going to be in the same fucking place you are right now. And I was like, that's pretty heavy. And I'm like, you're an asshole, and I'm going to prove you wrong. So I traveled and I searched, and I felt free when I was on the road, and I kind of let intuition take the wheel and really start steering things. And I ended up where I was and kept going from there, and now I'm here. But in a sense, he was right, because once I got here, I felt super connected to everything. I was smelling flowers, I was hiking in the woods and meeting people, and I had no agenda, no schedule. I was just open to anything. But in order to stay here, I had to get a job and a place to stay. So I found myself searching and seeking, and I found a job and a place.
Really, if you break it all down, we all,
And so I said, God, please plant into the human psyche for us to bring our past to
acknowledge it dark. And not saying, oh, well, you gotta be like this, but exactly wrong.
But he spoke.
Would never have had
He spoke a little bit.
to take away.
I don't know how we do
Not that there is an responsibility, though, that's kind of hard to act on. It's like, oh, okay, there's a possibility, but why am I here with you right now? Get that infinite possibility.
But it wasn't what you wanted. It was not. Reach down and touch them.
It's like when you like try to cage a really wild animal, and it's just like fighting with all its life, like for its life. That's what I felt like, that it crossed a boundary with me, like a really deep boundary where I was like not going to be subdued or restrained. So I started fighting back, and then he was just like trying to restrain me, and I was like freaking out. And there was I just remember like being in the corner of the closet, like pushed back as far as I could go with no one else, and the phone in my hand, and threatening to call the cops, but not wanting to call the cops because of the situation in the house, and him just like wailing on me, and then finally he stopped, and I was like on the ground, like literally, like I stopped fighting back at that point, and he was just like, he had flipped his switch where he was like not rational. And I left and went to my friend's house, and we went down.
So I just feel that.
They'll eventually wake up.
And, living that way, you lose a lot part of what being human is. The ability to relate honestly with another person, the ability to relate honestly with myself was just, it's gone. I didn't have it. I didn't know I didn't have it.
The experience is comforting. And
like, I don't know, dissociation, personality, or like there's like being in a black hole. You know, they just have this look in their eye where you're like, okay, you know, you don't care.
no, I'm not based, I'm not always gonna be good looking or, you know, or I'm not gonna be famous or, you know, my kids might have some problems and
myself go and I stopped overthinking and overanalyzing. My body and my mind became, you know, one, and I felt really unique and free and open to anything.
And my youngest son was
Stripping definitely makes you more aware of your body.
And when I really talked to him, I found out the thing that was the hardest for him was that when people in and he was just like, kind of makes me cry because
How do you love?
it was kind of just totally making my heart shut down. And so I made a commitment to him.
How
Yell at him.
how what you like affect other
Tried
people?
that for a year and a half now, and it seems like it's really making a change for him.
Like, if we had gone down that path, if I was pregnant twice, and the first time they forced me to have an abortion, which is totally against my will, I mean, but it was like, I mean, nobody can like force you to do anything totally against your will, but it was, you know, at the end of the day, that was the choice that I mean, I made the choice, but it was pretty much under a force and a pressure.
You know, just little things like how you turn your head when you flip your hair.
I saw
You know, sometimes you think you
Blue
can
eyes.
work it all out.
blonde hair, and you're very cute girl.
How do you like what you're getting when you walk? How do you sit down? How you're writing down and sitting down? Like, you become very, very aware of little things and how your body looks and how your body attracts people.
It's really even hard to describe how it felt. It was like watching myself on a TV screen. So here was this life that wasn't really something that related cellularly to me or really even experientially, emotionally.
And when I had my own son, I realized when he would make mistakes,
I found my voice
that he really felt bad.
rather unexpected.
And you don't get anything that they want. It just depends what you really get.
It's not having a schedule and being open to the random and looking for whatever bewilders me, you know? And that brings me some peace in the chaos, I guess.
Kind of going through, maybe let's get through them so you can like move on. I feel like was where it sort of resonated in terms of sex him because which was maybe now you don't quite that's the way that it can be.
Kind of reminded me of the struggle, like different people's struggles, and how they kind of perceive that as all barriers.
Yeah, I'm grateful for the things that happened. I'm grateful for the experiences I've been through. I'm not one that believes in regret. Because I feel like if we regret any of the experiences we've had or the choices we've made, whether they were bad choices or good choices, regrets negate who you are in the present moment.
We started No Cup Sundays, No Paper Cup Sundays, and started leading people into the idea that we need to slow down, be mildly inconvenienced, and think about the impact of what we do. Our small actions matter.
And there was the wonderful beauty of yoga. Breathing. Something so simple that I have never really experienced. You know, I had never really felt myself free.
things as my son was growing up that I realized how similar I was to my parents, even though I didn't want to be.
Sometimes that I didn't think that, and
I think that's the most stable of family life for growing up.
So yeah, now I'm trying to really look at relations and relationships with people, whether it be a job or a parent or a significant other or yourself, your body and your mind relationship. Everybody has their own realities. And when you start to blend those realities together, it can get pretty chaotic, it can get pretty beautiful, it can be all sorts of things, but I'm starting to question, are we responsible for others' feelings and emotions after blending your reality with theirs? And vice versa, are they responsible for yours as well? My first inclination is no, but it's kind of hard to deny that blend, and you've now altered somebody in some way or another. And given the notion that everybody has their own reality, they're all searching for something, they're all doing something in their own way. It might be something totally different than yours, it might be in alignment with yours, but it's interesting when you start to blend realities and try to find your way back to your own afterwards.
And the way that I've heard it described is that your energy just shifts almost like 180 degrees. And that's what it felt like to me. It felt like all of the stress that you work on to
the bigger perspective,
somehow
you get them to realize the perspective that this
sort of working
steps in power and maybe more.
manage
Become more empowered and
totally fell apart on everything.
People are just want their general facts. They want that convenience.
That connecting with breath, that connecting with movement, that connecting with, through that, then the ability to connect with other people and connect to myself, I think literally saved my life.